Obrigada, Cristina e Dr. João Borges, por vir cá e nos apanharem hoje. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board on this no smoking flight to Dhaka. Please fasten your seatbelts. As we're taking off, please fasten your seatbelts, switch off your mobile phones, switch off your computers. Captain, the cabin is ready for takeoff. The most frequent question I get asked is, why did you start the Dhaka Project? As you know, I was on a layover for 24 hours in Dhaka, and I have seen Ruben working, collecting paper, where this is a shopping mall, and this is child labor, and a child spending all his days, rather than go to school, child labor. This is a little baby, his parents, they went to work, and they cannot afford anyone to look after the kid. This is scabies for lack of hygiene. The slum dwellers, they catch scabies and then is a huge outbreak. This is a lady we found. She had fallen off, glass on her eye, and she couldn't have access to medical care. This is a gentleman that he didn't have money to pay for a train fare to go to work. So in Dhaka, they used the top of the train, and he fell down. In Dhaka, there is a huge caste system where they believe people from the slums, they are not deserving of medical care. So these gentlemen had no choice than go to the pharmacy and just buy bandages. This is Chika, 27 years old. She had a baby, 3 months old, that she had scabies. In Dhaka, on the slums, they cook on the floor. They mold clay and they put their cooking items and they burn the paper to cook. It was a bit windy and Chika's dress caught fire. She said it was quite pleasant at the first time because it was warm and it was really cold before she realized she was set on fire. Chika spent 3 days trying to get inside the hospital to get treatment. But again, she's a slum lady, and being a slum lady, you don't get treatment in Dhaka. Being in the slums, this is the water you get and you drink. And from drinking this type of water, you get diseases. So a lot of people, they go to Dhaka and they see how dark it is and they focus on how things they are rather than focusing on how things they should be. So I went there and I thought, hold on a minute. Children, they shouldn't be drinking water like this. So rather than just being like everyone else that is being to Dhaka cabin crew and say they're so poor, it's so shocking, why not roll up the sleeves and get down to it? So how could I not help? So what do they need in the beginning? The slum dwellers, they needed everything. How can I describe? You're going to ask, why are these people living like this? See, slum dwellers in Dhaka, they are just like, I'm sorry, have you ever been to the circus where an elephant, when he's a baby, they put him a chain inside of his leg. And this elephant grows up thinking that this chain cannot be broken. When he gets adult stage and he's so strong, he's still condensed to think that he cannot break away from that. Slum dwellers, they don't believe, they stop dreaming, they don't have an open mind, they don't get pregnant of ideas. So how can you help these people to go beyond themselves? By helping the children, The children, they're like, even though they are from the slums, they're like children like everywhere in the world. They have so many dreams, they have so much passion, they have so much blood running through their veins. So you have to target these children that they're going to be our future. So what you do, you have to start to find out what they really want, what is their dreams. You have to find out what is the fire inside them burning, and then you just keep hiding petrol and petrol and petrol. So in the beginning, we started to assess the slums and what do they needed. So in the beginning, they needed clothes, they needed Pampers. This is my birthday gift on my 28th birthday, and this is us distributing. Then I realized giving handouts, it was just a short-term solution. And I wanted these people to give them a long-term solution. So what did I thought? I thought if only these kids, they are so bright, they have so much potential, if only these kids, they could go to school. So I told my family, I want to start a project where I can put kids in the schools. And I told my friends, and I was so excited. All I could talk about on the flights was, I'm going to set up a project. People, they started to look like I was crazy and insane. First, I had no money, I had no contacts, I had no time because I have a full-time job. Okay, I was not smart enough, I had no knowledge, I spoke no language. So how can you go to a third world country and make the change? On one of my flights, I met a lady called Beverly. And this lady, she changed my life, and the life of these children is way beyond I could ever imagine. working as a cabin crew, they tell you, you have to, you get trained for 6 weeks to perceive the needs of the passenger. But actually, I found out this lady, she worked as a consultant for an NGO. And I went to ask her what did she thought about my idea, my Dhaka Project idea. That it was non-existent, it was only in my mind. This lady, she sat down with me for 2 hours, listening to my fire or to my project. And I asked her, what do you think? Because everyone thinks I'm wrong, everyone thinks I'm crazy. What do you think? And she just told me, go ahead, what a great, great, great plan. So because Beverly, she worked for an NGO, she worked in a humanitarian world, and she said, I knew, and it was a great idea, I follow it. So in the beginning, we put the kids in a school, we vaccinated them. The kids, they had candles, and the slums, they can get on fire because it's made of bamboo, so we gave them lamps. We gave them everything they needed. I started to ask, time is running out, damn it. How did I start it? I asked to go to the only people I knew was cabin crew and pilots, so I started to go to the pilots and asked them if they had families in Dubai. The first officer started to look at me, oh my God, this girl, she's so forward, she's flirting with the captain. All I wanted to know is if they had children's clothes, bed sheets, towels, anything that it was of need. I started to ask cabin crew when they were staying at the hotels to steal all their soaps, shampoos, and shower caps. So this is my house. This is my living room. So imagine being a boy and going on a date with me. How X it is. I had no money to send these things abroad, so I started to ask cabin crew to put these donations inside of their luggage. Again, in Dhaka, it's very dirty. Everyone says everything dirty. I didn't see how dirty it was. I don't focus on a situation, I focus on a solution. So we, together with the donations that we got from people in Portugal and Dubai, we implanted garbage containers. We implanted 100 garbage containers, and we used the kids as a tool to go around the streets of Dhaka and teaching the neighborhood how to maintain the streets clean. This is how Shika got burned. You see the paper that Rubel spends all day working. They cook like that, and Shika stressed, and she got burned. Again, this is not safe. So what we did, we gave them better cooking facilities. If the kids, they're eating from a garbage dump and they shouldn't, we open a canteen. This is Milan. When I first met him, his mother had tuberculosis and he was rounding around. And this is Milan today. When we first started, the kids, they never had seen a toothbrush before. I challenged Anisa, a dentist from Dubai, to come to Dhaka to do dental treatment. We had nothing. We just had a chair and a place to boil the water. Today, we have a dental center. This is Nurul Islam. He lived all his life in the streets of Dhaka, and he doesn't know how to read and write. We managed to teach him how to be an office boy, and today he's working in Emirates Airlines. People, they will ask you, this is my volunteers. Everything I did today, and if I'm talking here today, is because of the hundreds, thousands of volunteers that they believe that it was possible to help the children. Many people, when you're going to talk to people, they're going to ask you, what is like Maria? And they will tell you she's like a hurricane, she's like a volcano in full power, she's like a cyclone, she's mad. Why? People, the children, they need help now. You only get a chance to educate these children. When are you going to help them? Now, let me tell you something. People, they say I devote a lot of my life. Oh my God, 45 seconds. They said I devoted a lot of my time helping these children. How do I think I'm going to make change? It's impossible, because it has been like this for generations. Let me tell you, this lady is Christina. In 1977, she came from Angola with 6 children, with only her clothes in her body. She went to Avanca. 2 years later, she met this girl called Celzinha, and she adopted her. Who is that Celzinha today? This is the lady behind this. I only have 8 seconds. So Zinga, at the age of 51, Anna Cristina, she died, and I had to go to a private school, a non-school. I liked it so much chocolates, I made myself expel from the school because I was stealing chocolates from my colleagues. My adopted family got so angry with me, they took me out of school and they punished me for 6 years. I stayed at home. When I was 18 years old, I was uneducated, I was illiterated, I had to leave out, I had to go away from Portugal because there was no jobs opportunities for me. So when people, they tell me, how do you know you can change? This is it. I just want to tell you, doesn't matter, either you come from a slum area, either you come from doesn't matter. If you have a determination, if you really want it, you can do it. Oh, and 1 second. So.